Hey, John here. In this video we're going to go through the lick I just played, and this lick is from Yngwie Malmsteen's album Attack. It's the title track, and I'm going to talk a bit about why this is a good thing to learn if you want to up your picking technique. If you want tabs for this one, as usual, you'll find a link in the description. Alright, so this is an Yngwie lick from the album Attack, and it's from the title track. For some reason I totally glossed over this album. I think I started getting into more of the compositional stuff at that point, so I kind of didn't listen to Yngwie, but listened to it recently, and there's a lot of really great guitar playing on that album. So I thought I'd share this thing that I transcribed today. It's a really cool thing because you will really feel how the string gets tighter as you get up the fretboard, and that also sort of illustrates why it's so important to practice everything in every position, because it's a very different feel up here compared to down here. And the way that I suggest you practice this is going to be on every single string, but we'll get to that later. So first of all, it's in F sharp minor, and he uses the natural minor scale but also a bit of the harmonic minor scale. So first of all, I'm just going to show you the scale first. So if we start here, it's the root. So 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, and then the root again. And it continues on up the scale. So if you know that scale, this will be way easier to understand, because it's only one pattern that it plays throughout the whole scale, one sequence, and it's this old 6-note sequence. So basically, if we number the notes from left to right, 1, 2, 3, we have 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. So if you know that scale and you know the sequence, very easy to remember. And he basically ascends the scale up until 1 octave higher, and then he goes back, and then it goes up again, and then it actually skips at the end and then ends on the root on the B string. I'm just gonna play through it slowly now, and you can see what I mean. So again, it starts with the harmonic minor scale here. So instead of going, which E would be the flat 7, he goes, right? So we start on the 2nd degree here. But again, it's only the 6-note pattern that I showed you. We just follow the scale. So after this point, we're gonna go up to the natural minor scale. And then we're gonna add this major 7th interval later, which makes it into a harmonic minor scale. All right, so let's go up the scale. So once you get to that point, you go back and do the harmonic minor version. So and back to this one again. And then instead of going to the 4th scale degree, you skip to the 5th. And that's the last group of 6 before you end on the root here. So again, from the beginning, just ascend up the scale, starting with the harmonic minor scale version. So natural minor scale, harmonic minor scale, back, and then. So probably easier to see this end point. So once you get up here, from this point, you have 4 groups of 6 left. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then end here. So if you can sort of divide it like that, so basically just going up the scale up until you get to the 17th fret, and that's where you start this sort of ending section where you have and that's basically it. The way that I suggest that you practice this, besides working a lot on this 6-note pattern using just the fingerings 1, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 4, is to do the same shape, meaning the same on every string. So basically it's going to mean that you change key as well, but you use the same frets, if that makes sense. So instead of going, you're going to start on the B string and go. You just have to shift here so you don't end on, right? And then you do the same thing on the G string, D string, A string, and the E string. So when you get back here to the low E string, you basically in the same key again, but 2 octaves lower. And the way that you can end this, if you want, but it doesn't really matter. It's just about getting up the scale on a different string. And this will sort of expand on the thing that I mentioned in the beginning, where you need to practice all over the neck. So while you're practicing the whole E string here and you get the different tensions and whatnot, it's still gonna feel very different doing that on the B string or the G string, D string, and so on. And getting used to this on all the different strings will help you when you want to expand this lick to something of your own design, or even if you just want to improvise. If you choose a scale, let's say A minor, and then simply go through it however you want. So that's kind of endless. But this sequence is very melodic and it's fairly easy to play once you get it under your fingers. And the way to do that is to practice it, of course, but really make sure that you get every note as clean as possible, because this can really help your synchronization if you do it correctly, but it can also screw it up a bit if you just sit there and, you know, just go for it and no regard for accuracy. So I know I say this a lot, but really do practice 80 to 90% slow before you try doing it faster. Another really effective way of practicing things like this is to use accents, and I have a video on accents specifically, so I'm going to link that over here. So just check that out and try applying this to this lick. And as always, if you have any trouble, just post a question below and I'll try to help you out as soon as possible. So good luck with this one and see you in the next video.